Where's that button? It's over there, and then it's this one, and that gets things started. Hey there, friends. My name is Jeff Fritz. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm excited. I'm excited for today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is February 27th, 2024, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. Check that. You've written a little bit of code today. I want to spend some time taking a look at some of the great work that some folks in the chat room, folks hanging out in Discord, have put together. We've got a pull request. We've got some designs on new features for Tags app, our open source application. Really cool stuff that I want to get into. I want to share. I want to celebrate. I want to give folks a little bit of credit where credit is due. Talk about it with them and move forward and have a good time encouraging folks to learn and share and collaborate together to build something cool. Yeah, let's have a good time with this. I'm going to head over here to the chat. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. Check us out on the C# Fritz channel on both services. It's so good to see you. Look at all of our friends over here. Let me say hello. I'll start up at the top there. Fail to connect. Good morning to you. Hello. Napalm Codes is here. Lanky Scottish nerd with a big hey friends. How you doing there? Robert, Stefan. No Scots here. Just Jeff's. Yeah, we're going to be looking at your PR, Napalm. That's right. Good afternoon, Robert. How you doing? Yeah, Lanky Scottish nerd. We had that little chat. Manoj, hello to you. I have an idea, but we'll later. Try something, Dev. Hello. Yes, I do have a hat. I have the Time Variance Authority hat. Right, it's got the badge from the Time Variance Authority. We saw them in the Loki television series in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, both seasons 1 and 2, and it looks like we're going to see them in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Excited to see that. It's a party and contributors are invited. That's right, Napalm. Absolutely. I'm going to grab that link from the Lanky Scottish nerd. Bring that along so we can talk about that. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Surly Dev. Hello. How many dang Roberts we got in here? How you doing there? Robert Tables is here. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. So you love the Loki series? It was great. It was a lot of fun. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed that series. Both seasons were pretty good. They really did something to push that forward. But I like that they're pulling back just a little bit in further design of their series. They learned that they made some mistakes in some of the other series, notably Secret Invasion. And they're going to do a little bit more planning, a little bit more writing and collaborative writing up front as they plan and design how those television series should flow and where they're going to go. So let me get I'm getting Gunners set here. I think we're going to go with the Horde Gunners today. Get them out here. Check them out. Yeah, there we go. There we go. For the Horde, we got the Horde glasses on there. You can see just a little Horde indicator over there. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm excited about what we're going to be taking a look at here today. You're dropping tables like it's hot. That's right. Let me get some music playing in the background. I'm going to go to the Stream Beats Synthwave playlist and scroll down somewhere here. No, I just saw a good one. Where'd it go? Wrecking Crew. Let's start with that today. There it is. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. You can listen to it wherever you'd like. You have a license to do this, even though YouTube will copyright, not copyright strike, but they will copyright flag your content. You can go through and dispute it, and it goes away after 30 days. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for putting this music together that we're listening to today. How you doing? All right. So yeah, don't drop tables in production. That's bad. That's really bad. So we've been working on an application here called Tags app. We've been working on it since July, and it's gone through a couple changes. It was initially going to be something very simple called My Tag but it's evolved and it became an application that lets you search for content by hashtag across Mastodon and Twitter, as well as monitor chat sessions on Twitch, and it has a plugin for a website so you can receive questions from the website. We also can now monitor hashtags on Blue Sky as well, in Blazor, a small social media service that one of our viewers is putting together and creating as well. But it's open source. Anybody can contribute, and we've had a number of contributions. Discussions that have happened here in chat have helped shape and push the application forward. We've had great interactions around building tests, executing tests, building various features and configuration capabilities, and we even used TagsApp as part of .NET Conf this year. If you go and you watched .NET Conf, if you watch the full video, you'll see there's parts where the hosts break out and they talk about the various questions that are coming in across the various services, and it was really, really cool to be able to share and use TagsApp to make that easier for everybody to see what's going on and learn more about TagsApp. So I have a picture that I'm going to put this in the docs and on the TagsApp website when we finally launch a TagsApp website. There we go. We'll put that up, and we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the things going on. There it is. So there's me in front of, we had a big Surface Studio touch screen that you can touch and interact with, and we built this view, and you can see down the side here, all kinds of messages from X, from the formerly Twitter service popping up. We were also seeing, you can see there's a Mastodon message right here that was identified and put up on the screen. And there were many, many more messages from Twitch and from the website that were all delivered and shown on the screen. More than 5,000 messages flowed through this user interface over the course of the 3-day .NET Conf event. And it's an open source application. I can't stress that enough. So folks can contribute and customize and show different cool ways that we can integrate and we can learn how to build this stuff together. How you doing there, Hatkan House? Hello. Good to see you. So there's pull requests, there's issues out there. The GitHub repository is open out there. Let me put the project entry into Twitch chat. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the description area just below. There's a link to TagsApp down there. So reviewing and adding content from pull requests. Pull request is 2 words for TagsApp. And we'll put the link to TagsApp, github.com, Fritz and Friends, TagsApp. There you go. So if you're watching on Twitch, there is now a message pinned to the top of chat that you can click into if you want to know more about TagsApp, and it lists what we're currently working on today. How you doing there, Amal, over on YouTube? Good morning to you. Welcome in. So there's 69 issues out there. Nice. And these are things that we've talked about on stream. These are things we've talked about off stream. And notably, there's been a number of discussions that have picked up on Discord around building and advancing features for TagsApp and learning how to do new things and figuring out some different capabilities. So just this morning, not even an hour ago, I've added a TagsApp channel to the Discord. You can check out the Discord link just below. And there's a link to join the Discord that should roll over. There it is. It's on YouTube as well if you'd like to join the Discord. But there's been conversations about various capabilities going on here. Discussion is going to be moving from projects on stream into its own channel called TagsApp. How you doing there, Billy Joe? Welcome. So, we've had some discussion. There's been some questions and things, and please, you are more than welcome. I encourage you to take a look at the issues while we're talking and interacting here. You are welcome to comment on these issues. Tell me what you think. Tell us, tell everybody what you think. Offer some constructive feedback or advice. Maybe you found an article somewhere that does a little bit of whatever is suggested here. Drop a link. Help us out. That's great. And push things forward for that. So it's only going to help all of us to build more features here. Billy, you're a half IT college student. What's a half IT college student? Are you just a college student in information or just technology? And a half music artist. Very cool. That's pretty cool. It makes you worried about graduation. Don't be worried about graduation. There's lots to do in this industry. Adding the mixture of music talent and IT developer capabilities is going to take you a long way, because there is so much that crosses over between the two. What if AI took over the programming industry? It's not going to happen, because artificial intelligence doesn't do that. It is not scary. It's scary. It's scary to folks because they don't understand what AI is. The AI is just a really big text calculator. So, you've never seen so many non-graduates working in this programming industry? Yeah. So many things going on and being discussed about the project. There is a pull request here to add open telemetry. We're going to talk about this one because it addresses an issue that we opened a long time ago, way back in August. Hey, what about adding some logging or telemetry to the application and to allow us to diagnose issues, track system behavior? Hey, that's a great idea. Maybe we add open telemetry. And Napalm wanted to take a look at this, and away he went. And now he, after doing some research and tinkering with it, he has for us a pull request. We're going to look at this in a little bit. But some other discussion that was going on out on the Discord, Robert Steffen was tinkering with, where'd it go? This issue, and wanted to figure out a little bit more about accessibility information for colors when you do theme choosing for the modal dialogue that pops up inside TagsApp, right? There's a modal dialogue. Where'd that picture go? Right? So when you touch one of these cards, a little modal dialogue pops up, and it has a back of a card, right? It shows you not the actual text of that, but it shows you some sort of a screenshot or a block of text or something, and then it spins around and shows you the front of the card, and it has the text of one of these items that you've clicked on or you've touched, depending on your device. Well, when it does that, when it shows you the back of the card, and as we think about other theming that's going to be done in the application, it would be good to get a little bit of accessibility feedback on that. So we were discussing this on stream, and we got some links to information about color differences, so we can make sure that folks who maybe they're not colorblind, but they have other color detection issues in their vision, we can support them, and they can still accurately, maybe not completely accurately, but they can at least read the content on screen. So Robert Steffen was working in chat on the Discord server one day and started and pulled together this code pen that has some information about choosing different theme colors. And I haven't even tinkered with this yet. And being able to, I guess, here you go, get some theme variables out of it that are related. So, right, if that's the default theme, here's our new theme variables. That's kind of neat stuff. And then, I'm not sure, validate, I don't think that does anything just yet. So, really cool work that Robert Steffen is doing to tinker with and see how do we detect and make sure that we have related colors that look good together, but then also have high contrast so that it's easy for folks to see. Really cool. I appreciate the effort digging in and looking at that. The Lanky Scottish Nerd has been tinkering with theming. We have another issue out here about theming inside the application. And what would it be like to be able to configure and change the theme so it matches your stream, your event, what have you. So the Lanky Scottish Nerd has been tinkering, and where's the link to your I'm scrolling back looking for it. I'm gonna grab the picture out of Discord. So I'm gonna click that open and open that link. There we go. So hey, what if we could theme going this far? Right? You saw this is what it looks like out of the box. Pretty generic, pretty standard, kind of gray. Not a problem. Cool. And the idea of, you know what, this is very simple. It has a light and a dark mode, but the flexibility to be able to do something like that is impressive. So that's pretty cool to see this jump of, I'm going to add a logo in the corner. I'm going to move around the menu bar and add a gradient background and a little theme chooser on the bottom is what that looks like. Great stuff. Really cool innovation and thinking about this to push the design forward for the user interface. I love it. I love it. Little things, learning, tinkering. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. Break something. It's okay. Let me go back to... Hang on. Where'd it go? There was... I'm going to bring up the other link. Pick two colors that are close to each other. Let's give that a shot. It knows this app. Johan!
Subscribed for 62 months.
Hello. Oh, I gotta say okay to get out of there. So those are pretty close. And if we choose another theme color like that. Oh, I keep doing that. Right. No, it's... It's not doing anything different. Take the same one, but make it darker or lighter. Okay. So grab that, and I'm just going to do that. Over here, and I'll grab the same one, and I'll just make it a little bit darker. Yeah, it's not popping anything out. Should throw a message. No, I'm not getting a code pen preview. No. It's still tinkering. We're still learning. We're still figuring things out, right? It's in progress. So I like that it's showing, here's some other options for colors that fit in with this theme. That's cool that you're going and calculating that. Lots more to do. Look, I'm happy to share, to show some progress and encourage to say, this is neat stuff. To have this kind of interaction of here's the 3 colors that we support for building a theme, and here's some of the interactions so that you can choose, and giving feedback on the accessibility on it is a really nice idea to have in an application that we want to allow folks to customize. So I like that. I like that a lot. That just gave you a great idea. You can override Bootstrap CSS variables. Yes, lanky Scottish nerd. Like that. That's very good point. We can override the default Bootstrap variables, and it'll just flow through to the application. Yeah. So then you can just save that CSS into a blob. Just a blob of text, a theme blob of text in the database, pull that out and just echo it into, just output it into a little style block, and it just applies to everything. Yeah. Create different gradients starting from the uploaded image. That's a cool idea too. Analyze an image that's uploaded and grab colors out of it. Totally. And because the image upload occurs... Let's open the source code. We can talk about the image upload feature. Opening up. I did reboot since the other day when things were kind of behaving wacky. Like, wasn't thrilled with that at all the other day. Here we go. Come on. And then. So there is a modal customization page here that allows you to customize that modal window. It's an interactive server page. So you can definitely get that feedback in Blazor as the image is being uploaded. Shall we let them pick the second color for the gradient from the image? I don't know. Maybe we make the second color from the image a priority, and then add a custom button at the bottom or a custom entry at the bottom. So many ways to do it. Toying with a theme manager service. That's a cool idea. A theme manager. Maybe not a theme manager service, but maybe a theme state? Maybe. Take the predominant color from the back of the image. Well, you're not going to want the predominant color from the back of the image. You're going to want, right, you're going to want a corresponding color that goes with it. So if you choose a color from the image, let's start the application. I'll open a console. I like running my .NET apps at the console. And we're not going to be running in that branch for too long today. Source, tags app, Blazor, .NET Watch. Yeah, complementary color to the colors, the prominent colors in the image. Because if we choose the prominent color, then it's going to blend into the background. So I love having these discussions, right? So let's bring this up and we'll talk a little bit about theming and look at the application. And then I want to look at this pull request, full pull request we got from Napalm about adding telemetry to the application. And it did properly fail to start. That's what we've been testing and building. Hey, can't connect to the Postgres database. I'm going to start the database. I've purposely had it shut off. See, there it is. My database, it's a Postgres database. It's sitting in a container so that I can start it and stop it when I need it. So I'm just going to restart the application. It shouldn't actually build anything, but it should just start right back up here. And here we go. Yep, it's already getting data and loading it in. Look, insert into content. It's adding data. So there's the application working. So if I go to, yeah, and it's forced me logged in as admin. So if we go to modal customization, there's something that it's not showing you the image that's been uploaded. We're gonna have to address that. So I've been tinkering with adding the C# with C# Fritz logo. Why you do this? None of this is working right now. No. Okay. Let's back up. Give me a second here. Nope, not going to change any of that. We are going to, yeah. Going to jump over to main. Oh. And go over to main. Restart the application. Hello, the crow. Hello. Welcome. So clearly in my working branch, I broke something. I don't think it's broken over here. It was working. That's the important part, right? And you shouldn't have me log. Oh no, that's the admin screen. That's it. Right. So now if I go down into modal customization, no, it's still not there. All right, so there is something broken there. That makes me feel wonderful. There it goes. So, right, I've chosen a purple, right? If I were to choose that purple, right, it's hard to see. If I wanted to choose a complementary color to go with it for the background color, right? Right. Like, we can make that work and kind of detect and say, hey, here's some complementary colors if you'd like to choose one of these, or choose your own custom color. Maybe there's something like that interaction we can do here. But I like where Lanky Scottish Nerd is going. Maybe there's a whole theme configuration that we hang as another page here that allows you to choose and configure various colors across it. Eric, thank you so much. Happy Tuesday to you. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for the resub, and I'll make another donation to the American Cancer Society. Thank you so much. I have a family member finishing cancer treatment, radiation treatment. Chemotherapy, I'm sorry. Thank you for the follow. She's finishing chemotherapy Thursday, and we are so looking forward to her finishing that. Matches the lenses. How you doing there? C# Titan is here on YouTube. Hello. Yes, I did have a good weekend. Thank you. Got a haircut and hats feel better now on me. Johan with the big cheer.
Johab cheered 100. C# heart, C# heart, C# heart.
Thank you so much. I'll make another donation for that. And this one from Ergonrod.
Ergonrod just resubscribed for 29 months.
29 months. Thank you so much. And more donations that I will be making. If you're on Twitch, there's some status numbers just below me here. I don't normally do this, but if we get the subscriber number, not the total number of subscribers, but if the folks who they themselves click through and subscribe, not a Prime subscription, but a paid subscription, if we get that number over 100, everybody's subscriptions, and we have to do that for 3 months straight, everybody's subscriptions, instead of counting 50% towards our charity, will count 60%. So nudging that along, getting it there February is a shorter month. I don't normally push for subscribers just because I donate all of it. Maybe we'll have a better shot at doing that in March as more folks are aware of a little bit of the push that we're doing to reach. Eric's mother-in-law is in treatment also. Amazing how there's research making strides. It would be amazing to see us beat cancer, defeat that horrible disease in our lifetime. We've got 2 minutes till a hype train. We are very close to triggering a hype train. So, of course, tag zap and the moderation screen. I'm not going to go through it and try to fix the... What was that? I have no idea what that sound was. Like, I have full control over the audio coming through here, and no idea. Unless it was restream. It says everything's fine. No. No issues there. Yeah, it sounded like little zappy laser guns. I don't know what that was. Moving on. No, I didn't introduce anything. So, yeah, it's tag zap, right? No, there is no audio in here. Hype train coming sound? I don't think so. I don't think Twitch did that. Let me see here. Abdul Wiza asking about publishing. Let me mark that. Anyways, let me open an issue for. So I'm going to open an issue for as a bug report the image upload for the modal configuration doesn't persist. Image upload doesn't show on screen when first entering the modal customization page. The delete and cancel buttons don't feel responsive. Don't appear to do anything. I'm going to label that as a bug, and somebody can investigate. We'll come back and take a look at it. No, that wasn't by design. No. It did this on your PC too? The waterfall makes that sound on load? It does. Didn't make the sound that time. Developers. Now, that's Balmer. Balmer doesn't make that. No, it's not making any noises. I don't think there's a sound tag. I'm refreshing it and I'm not getting it. Yeah, I just did a Control F5. No. I'm not getting I'm not getting sound. Nope. It escapes the HTML if somebody puts an HTML tag in there. So, I got the message. We'll talk about that. Okay, where's that coming from? Like, all right. I haven't heard that at all, and I certainly didn't add that. Like, that's the modal back. Like, is the debugger or something? No. The tab's showing the sound icon when it happens. We were on the moderation screen. It says playing. It's coming from in here. Is it coming out of Mastodon? I think somebody put something in a Mastodon message that's getting picked up. There are 13 video tags. No, just mentions of video. No. Okay. Yeah, I looked for audio. Oh, that's an image. That's a span on an anchor image. No. Yeah. They are supposed to be muted. So if we go, thank you. Muted. If there is a video tag, it's muted. But there are no video tags. So what is that? It's got to be that right there. Right here. Right. There's the content card. There's a video, and it is muted. That's it right there. But it's supposed to be muted. Like, the video tag, the muted video tag is supposed to be, right? HTML video muted. Video controls muted. It's a Boolean. When present, it specifies that it should be muted. Now, that's not the waterfall message. It says it hot reloaded. It's on this one and it's still playing. Well, I approved it, so show me that one. Yeah. Why isn't it muted? I feel like I'm swatting a fly. There's the content card. Video. No. Uh-uh. Firefox video tag muted. Use muted equals muted. Define a function that on loading of the page mutes the video. Muted has never worked when the video is dynamically added to the page. The muted attribute only takes effect when the video is present in the HTML at initial load, because the card is added. Okay. So we need to come back and specifically say video muted equals true. Joy. Okay. So Let's go to waterfall.js. That you collapsed too much. Thank you. Mute video. Yeah, you're. Thank you. Yep. That's what I want. This is why programmers have headaches. Totally. Now, how do I know which? Thanks. How do I know which? Something like that. Won't have to render. We should only do this if first, because I don't think it'll play a second time. Window. And it was called mute video. And we want it to mute. That's that. Right? What don't you like about that? Oh, fine, make it async. You don't want to do that. All right. But the JavaScript is receiving. Yeah, do that. No. Stealthy!
Steel279 just resubscribed for 57 months.
Thank you so much. 57 months with us. And I'll make another donation to the American Cancer Society. Thank you so much for that support. There's the console. All right. Clear that out. Back over here. Outer HTML. Loading. No. It didn't call that at all. Get rid of that. Let's do this. Hang on. If content, where is it that it detects that it's going to do video? Hang on. Has video preview. Preview card, blah, 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 blah. False. If content has video preview, do that. Rebuild. Meeting time. Have a good one, Napalm. No, I want autoplay on. How do I bring the console back up? Here it goes. Reloading. Debugging hotkey. It's rendering. There, it's muted. There, it found it and it muted it. Cool. We will do the exact same thing. And I can remove the console log over here. That way also as new messages appear, it'll not play that sound. On after render. And now we shouldn't have the problem on the moderation screen. Really? Because I didn't put that tag on the video, so it couldn't find it. Yes, patch it. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. And then we will talk about adding telemetry. There it is, reloading. It's only slightly complicated. So far, no sound. There it is, and it is muted. Cool. All right. That was annoying. Fix mute videos. Yep. Added mute function to card after render. Oh, that was annoying. So let me do that pull request real quick, and then we'll look at this other one to do metrics. Oh, and Napalm's got to leave. Darn it. And this is fix mute videos. There we go. Cool. Taken care of. All right. And now I just untook care of it. It's okay. So it's going to do its build and get... Now the sound effect is back. At least it isn't somebody on Mastodon going, "Hey!
What'd you do?"
I posted a video. Like, oh dear God. Oops. Anyways, see, now I'm waiting for one of our friends to troll us and do something like that. And oh dear Lord. Moving on. All right. Come on. Finish building and testing and doing the thing here. Let's go. Yeah, about 1 minute. That's about all it should be to get that. There it goes. It is done. I knew it was done. Do Twitch clip links play automatically? I don't think so. There it goes. Fantastic. Merge that, John. You're done. You're done. It finished. See? Finished. Why are you still saying you're doing a thing? You're not doing a thing. Thank you. Yeah. Good. All right. Let's bring that back. Git pull up. Git branch. Delete. Fix mute videos. Git pull upstream main. Git push. Fantastic. Next. It is an MP4 on the card. Yes. It doesn't. If it's an image, it'll make it an image. If it's a video, it'll make it a video. So when you post the Twitch clip, does it post a video? I don't think so. I don't think so. So I want to get to this. And Napalm's even started writing a blog post about his experience adding open telemetry to this. And what's been involved in getting this running. I encourage you to check out his blog post to learn a little bit more. I should read it at some point. But I want to move on. I want to actually do the thing. So there is... Yeah, I don't know what I want to do with where I want the telemetry to go. But, so it adds a Grafana setup utilizing Tempo for tracing, Prometheus for metrics, and Loki for logging. Enabled features to correlate traces, metrics, and logs within Grafana. All services have been added to the Docker Compose local. So when you're running locally... So it starts up a Grafana image with configuration from an observability config folder. Along with information for dashboards. Continuing. Depends on Tempo and Loki. So now we have an open telemetry collector, limit of how much memory, set it up on some ports, and here's how it's going to collect. Grafana with Loki, Tempo, and appropriate configuration for those. And then Prometheus down here at the end. Now, why? Okay, so what he's saying is that will set up Grafana. And then we'll be able to get to that content. Now, .NET 8 has some core metrics that it will generate, and you can stand up some Grafana dashboards based on that. Grafana is a really nice dashboard feature. You posted an MP4 on Mastodon? It's running, right? I don't see anything. Did you use hashtag.net? Because that's what we're searching for. Or are you just trolling me? No, I don't see any messages on Mastodon. Don't need that one anymore. All right, so back over here. ASP.NET Core's built-in metrics are automatically recorded. How you use those metrics are up to you. So they will appear automatically on the Aspire dashboard. Okay. The ASP.NET Core Grafana dashboards. Right? And that is a very cool looking dashboard to be able to visualize what's going on inside of your web application. So they are open source on GitHub, and you can download them on grafana.com. So best place to get the dashboard is from the Grafana dashboard store. The store has download links and instructions for importing dashboards into Grafana. I've never used Grafana. I've never configured it. I've just looked at, observed, and said, that's really cool. I want that. Because what I really want is, I want, see down here, look at it. Let's, hang on, zoom in on that image. Here's what I want. See this bit down here, top 10 requested endpoints? I want my top 10 Twitch trolls down here. I want to see Surly Dev's name in there. I want to see Robert Tables with a little gauge, number of trolley messages. And have that in there as a dashboard that goes with TagsApp. That Robert Steffen gets it. See that? So, okay. The repository is the home to the JSON files, welcome issues and whatnot. Export the metrics, package references, configure OpenTelemetry at setup. Builder services, add OpenTelemetry with metrics. Builder, add meter. This is the thing that where I think we're going to end up extending a little bit, is being able to add meters for each one of the service providers so that as they're running, they're outputting information that says, here's how frequently and what types of, and here's how frequently we got messages from this service provider. That type of thing is what I'd love to be able to log and generate nice graphs so we can see, here's the amount of traffic we're getting on Mastodon, the amount of traffic we're getting on Twitch, and so on and so forth. Yeah, you!
People know me.
And I know Surly Dev. All right. Moving on. So, let's give this a try. So this is going to be an internal hosted, and Napalm wants to also be able to add exports for Azure Monitor and Zipkin. Those are other places you can monitor and read those. That's right. New feature, Troll Leaderboard. You got it. That's a great idea. Tweet that. Right? See this bit down here, top 10 requested endpoints? I want my top 10 Twitch trolls down here. I want to see Surly Dev's name in there. I want to see Robert Tables with a little gauge, number of trolley messages. And have that in there as a dashboard that goes with TagsApp. Love it. This bit down here, top 10 requested endpoints. Yes, put that, look at that. They've even got the Twitter button. You better believe it. This is why I want to add open telemetry to TagsApp. For the next .NET Conf event, we can show we can show Grafana dashboards for a Blazor application. Called the Troll Leaderboard. Post. There you go, friends. There's the message. Great clips, Early Dev. Thank you for grabbing that. Good stuff. Thank you so much. Mario coins for you. There you go. Enjoy. Don't spend them all in one place. Get 100 of them and you get an extra life. All right, moving on. I want to take a look at some of the code. 13 files changed here. Fody Weavers XSD. Okay, adding into ignore observability config tempo data. Yeah. Docker compose local, increase the version number, commented out, starting the application. So I'm not going to merge and take this just yet. I want to just try this out. And then the extra configuration for the various services. Grafana dashboard provider, Grafana data sources. Yeah. OTel config. Okay, where to send it, and it's sending it to those other services. Prometheus.yaml. YAML. Tempo. Yeah, there's some tempo config. Okay. Open telemetry extensions for TagsApp Blazor. So this is a technique that we've been using more and more in order to simplify. We've got a very complex startup script for the application, but we want to simplify it and put things into nice buckets so that everything to do a certain bit of configuration is in its own configuration file, so that when it comes time to modify that feature of application configuration, it's not on the main program file. It's off somewhere else, and you can update that independently. So here we go. Configure a resource. The action is going to add a service name, TagsApp Blazor. Fine, I'll take a lowercase s there. Service version, service instance ID, environment machine name. Add open telemetry observability. Services, add open telemetry. Configure the resource. With tracing, blah, blah, blah. Add source. ASP.NET Core instrumentation, the standard ASP.NET Core instrumentation with metrics. Yeah, this in here, this is where we're going to end up being able to do this, as I was saying, it is going to be in the embedded in those other service providers. Hey, go add and feed data into these meters. Open telemetry logging, set up the tracing exporter. This is all really cool stuff to have this built and delivered. And then inside program CS, right? So after configuration, add open telemetry observability. And builder logging, add open telemetry logging just before it starts, and add those other reference files. A little bit of app settings. Cool. Let's give this a shot. Let's try this out. I want to see what this looks like. Because this is a big step. And this is something that kind of feeds into... you're going to hear me talking about a lot this year. Logging and telemetry and tracing is something that we as developers should have by default. You shouldn't have to go and write extra configuration, build something special to go do these things. There's features and facilities out there that have it for you by default. Let's make it easy for you to have that available. And when you're ready to deploy and push somewhere else, if you want to turn it off, give you an easy switch to turn that off. So I want to give this a shot. I'm going to do the command line instructions here so I can pull this into, So I can pull this locally and we can take a look and give it a try. So I'm going to cancel that for right now. Down here in my Git panel that I use. So there, it pulled in his changes. I'm not going to push and deploy it. Hey there, Chuck Beasley.
Chuck Beasley just resubscribed for 18 months.
Hello, not .net. Docker Compose. How you doing there, Chuck? Thank you so much. And I'll make another contribution to the American Cancer Society. So Docker Compose, and we got to pass in an appropriate file there so that it starts. Hurry up, do that before this. Oh, it's got to pull the things. Don't start the application just yet. It's pulling in, say it pulling in the various containers to get that configured and running. I don't have them locally, the container images. So it's going to get those pulled in, started, and then I'll start the application image above. So there we go. Now, theoretically, we shouldn't have to do all of this when we get into Aspire. We should be able to just hook into the Aspire pipeline and it'll just work. I love the just work sentiment. There it is, attaching, starting, and there it is running in the bottom. Executing migration, look at all that stuff. Okay. And start the application. And then we should be able to go to a localhost location and pull that up, right? Grafana, right? Grafana image environment is on 3000. So I should be able to go to localhost 3000 and start to see it. What do you mean connecting to the browser? There it is. There it is. We've got data. Okay. So there should be stuff. Now if I go localhost. There we go. Yeah, go away. Unauthorized. Dashboards. There we go. No data. All right, there's the thing from below. It's there. What's this one? Okay. No. Explore. What do we have? Nothing. Did I miss something? Yeah, there's Loki, Prometheus, Tempo. So yeah. There's no data. There we go. Now we're getting data. Yeah, there we go. All right. All right. So that's just the default ASP.NET one, right? Status 200. No, nothing coming. But being able to see the performance coming through the number. I mean, okay, it's just me here, right? That's not even opening right now. Great. Refresh the page. There it goes. Right? So it should show me some more requests. So we're getting there, right? Just the fact that we can start to push those messages, that telemetry, into something like this. For us as developers, when we're running this, it's going to go a long way to being able to stand up and run your own instance of an application and have some great telemetry available to you. Have a good one, Robert Steffen. Thank you so much for stopping in. So, just at the beginning here, I absolutely see us adding things to add metrics around. Here's the types of messages that we're getting from each of the services, right? Maybe there's a pie chart that shows messages from each of the services coming in. Maybe there's some sort of interactivity bar graph. Here's the list of folks that are currently very active interacting with Tags app. All kinds of stuff. And we're right at the beginning of this. This is going to be an amazing journey that we're going to go on as we build logging and dashboards for Tags app. I love that we can hook up to Grafana here and do this. We'll be able to publish and pull this from other resources in the future. There we go. Forced a refresh, and now I've got more data coming through. Last 5 minutes now. Turn on auto refresh. Give me more data as we're clicking through into here. Go in the admin screen. I don't care. Click into something. Show me some content. Do the things, man. Right, top 10 requested endpoints. I kept going into moderation. That's the right. There's got to be a way to filter here, right? But being able to see the application running and getting output on it is great stuff. I love seeing that there's no unhandled exceptions here above me. Right. Everything's been handled. Nice. Nice. What happens when I click into this? Ooh. All right. So what about logging? Hey, Nate Dev, welcome. So I'm going to let Napalm dig in further and iterate on this. It's a great start to just get this configured. More coming soon. More coming. Really happy to see that and where it's going. Error while killing? Guess what? You're done. Jumping back over to my main branch. That's fine. That's fine. So, let me go back to this question. It's still restarted. It should reconnect on its own. Isn't this what Aspire is supposed to do? It's part of what Aspire is supposed to do. Yes. There we go. Abdul Wiza on YouTube asks, how do you publish multiple projects under one solution in Blazor? So you might see this type of question when folks are building an application that has like a distributed application. You've got a Blazor app, you've got a couple microservices, maybe there's a console app that goes with it or a WPF app that plugs into it as well. If you're publishing multiple projects, you're going to publish each one individually, and you're going to need to go to each one and publish it and call that publish step appropriately. If all of those projects feed into the Blazor project, and that's the main one, that everything else, the Blazor project depends on everything else, it should automatically grab those and include them in the build and develop and deploy. Hey, Space Shot. So, Space Shot with a question, with a comment here. Let me go back to that. I feel like Aspire is more focused on the developer experience. It is. Aspire is very much focused on the developer experience. The DevOps experience, the output of Aspire being turned into the publication out to Kubernetes, Azure, some other cloud provider. Definitely something that needs to be part of the final solution. But absolutely, Aspire is 100% the developer experience. So, yeah. How do you start up? How do you get running and have a good application? Where can we get a copy of the Fritz and Friends logo? I'll tell you what, I will post that. I will post a copy of it into the Tags app. Into the Tags app channel on Discord. Here we go. There you go. Yeah, there's going to be overlap. Yep. There will be overlap between the two. So, hey, Surly Dev is now trolling on YouTube. Hey, you know what? If that works for you, good for you. Nate with a question. Found some good docs about the performance of data structures in .NET. I'm facing a project where I need to handle more than 10,000 rows of data coming from a database. Any suggestions? Measure. 10,000 rows of data coming from a database is not a lot. What's going on there that you're feeling pressure? Give me some details there. What's the concern? You posted on Mastodon, YouTube, and Twitter. Well, I'm not monitoring Twitter right now because Twitter costs money, so I'm not doing that. Skydriver 2K4, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. How you doing? Mastodon should absolutely come in. I don't see any messages coming in off of Mastodon. Any new messages on the .NET hashtag at all. Are you on like Bob's Mastodon server hiding somewhere? Like, You post it on AOL. Well, that helps. Back to this. 10,000 data rows is not a lot of rows. When you're working with that inside of .NET, you're going to want a page to go across that. Don't pull all 10,000 at once. Pull like a couple hundred at a time. And you're going to want to do skip take type of interactions to page as you go through your collection of data. I'm doing great, SkyDriver. Appreciate you joining us. Zverodot, thank you so much for the follow. So, page through that. Make sure you're using indexes to run your queries. That's going to be your own type of configuration issue. But what you do with that data when it arrives is going to be another thing. Are you putting it on a grid on a screen? Are you writing it to a file? What are you doing with that 10,000 rows of data? I mean, 10,000 rows of data is going to be 100K. That's not a lot of data. 100K is not a lot of data, right? If I can take that amount of data and I can put it on an SD chip, right? Like, that's not a lot of data. If I can take that amount of data and I can put it on a floppy disk. All right, how many of you never had a floppy disk? How many of you never had a floppy disk that actually flops? Anyways, that's not a lot of data. And I'm not trying to downplay your work that you're doing, but I'm trying to give you some sense of relative size to work with. So 100K, writing it into a file, piece of cake. 10,000 rows, analyzing and doing 5 seconds of processing per row, that's a lot of data. So I'm looking for a little bit more. Here we go. Okay, Nate with some more feedback for us here. And I love using Tags app to kind of help us along here. So 10K is an average, so it could be 50,000 rows, and I'm kind of afraid that I'm the type of developer that would usually use a list for everything. You're okay. Don't worry. You're just fine. I don't think list is probably going to be the best approach. I'm writing all that data in individual files. Here's what you want to do, okay? When you query and get your data, put them into arrays. List is a little bit larger object than an array, right? So when you run your query, you're going to use something like EF. You're going to do skip and take statements on there so that you page through that collection. After you call take, make sure you execute a toArray statement so that it brings that out, completes that bit of the execution immediately, and puts it into an array in memory. You can then copy that into your file. You're going to open a file as a stream, and you're going to write that array into the file. Now, are you writing the array at that collection as JSON or XML or YAML? Oh, don't write it as YAML. CSV, or you're going to write your own XLS, your own Excel files. Whatever it might be, writing just a page of 100, 200 records at a time, piece of cake. You're going to be able to burn through that quickly. All right? But make sure you you work with arrays. You're right. You don't need list objects. Work with arrays. They're a little bit smaller in memory to work through. And it'll clean them up a little bit faster. Okay? Many of us are not regularly handling nuclear launch code Stelzy, I tell you. How you doing there, Stelzy? There's Stelzy right there. Mom! Did you see that? Mom's right there. Look, there's Mom. Hi, Mom. All right, we got to say hello to Mom. She's right there. Thanks so much. Great to see you. No, and Blazor Mr. Magoo is poking some fun there. Where'd it go? Where did Blazor Mr. Magoo's message go? There you go. This one. Poking some fun, but it's true to an extent. Make it work. If it's slow, research ways to improve. And you end up tinkering a little bit, right? This is a little bit slower than that. Don't jump right into using spans, right? Some of the Uber optimization techniques that you see folks talk about, don't jump right into them. Start with optimizing your database query, optimizing your analysis processes, and how you write to file after that. Okay? Then look at some of the advanced data structures, memory mapped files, span of T. Okay? Things like that will help you after you've optimized your database query, optimized your data interactions. Then take a look at squeezing that other performance. Squeezing the performance on a memory mapped file or working with strings in memory as a span for how small a data set you have. If you were dealing with gigabytes of data that you were pushing and pulling out of the database, then I would look at using span of T to optimize memory utilization. At 50,000 records, you're looking at maybe 500K. Let's be generous, 750K of memory. Even if it was a meg of memory that it was working with, you're still in great shape, and any server worth its salt would be able to handle that much data. Okay, so Thindall has been doing .NET forever, and here, go back to that. And I've never had a scenario where I needed to optimize with span. Totally agree. Yeah, not poking fun. That is how you learn. Yeah. Yep. So, look, Mom's here, and folks are saying hello. That's so kind. Thank you, friends. There's Surly Dev on Mastodon. Look at that. We finally found Surly Dev. There you go. There it is. Mastodon Social came through, right? And now we shall block you. There you go. So now messages coming from Surly Dev on Mastodon will get rejected. Does .NET Forever have a longer life cycle than than LTS? So there we go. 2 blocked users and 1 is Surly Dev on Mastodon. So, there you go. Now we know when Surly Dev's messages arrive from Mastodon, they come up and they're nice and rejected. No, not on Twitch. You're okay on Twitch. Yeah, that's .NET Framework. Yeah, .NET Forever is a new framework. You might have heard of .NET Framework, .NET Standard, .NET Core. Now there's .NET Forever. That's the new .NET being built and created. No. It's not a fun fact, Thindall. It is in support. It's very much supported. No, not limited support. It's in support. It's still supported. So, yeah. Go ahead and have some of the Verge columnists give me a call. Sure. Point you to a fella named Scott to chat with. Hey, we heard about .NET Forever. Is that a new thing? Is that Microsoft's new and gosh, what has the EU said about it? Because yeah, him. Gosh, Microsoft isn't allowed to build a product or invest in anything unless the EU approves it first. Oh, you're going to hire somebody somebody who's a professor at a university for $250,000 American a year, and they're going to be working on the proper color of blue to make Windows backgrounds. We're going to be investigating you because we think that is anti-competitive. Because colors of blue are the property of the people. And that's going to be a privacy violation if you start investigating what color blue people like. I'm making all of this up, but there is a grain of truth in it that the EU investigates any business move that Microsoft makes. And it's not just Microsoft. They're investigating any move that Amazon makes as well. And that's right. Apple's allowed to thumb their nose at the EU on app stores, right? And Apple has shut off the ability to install progressive web apps in the European Union. That's okay. That's okay. Microsoft, Amazon, and Google finding business partners. Wait a second. Investing $15 million in a company, which is nothing in the grand scheme of the revenue of these companies. I mean, literally a rounding error. And we're going to investigate and hold up all that. How about you actually do some investment and build some inventive businesses in your part of the world? How about that? Let the Tim cook. Tesla Neuralink forces you to log into your Tesla account before you can move your arms. Your dad ran a company in the 90s that got an official investigation into racial discrimination because their logo was blue and yellow, Swedish colors, and they employed only Swedish people. 6 employees. Why? Right? Why? Like, come on. You're literally crippling people who are trying to be inventive and build something. Like, come on. President not sure.
President not Zuon just resubscribed for 17 months. Let's go.
Thank you so much. And I'll make another donation to the American Cancer Society. Is Mom still out there? Mom, are you still listening? Where's Mom? I do try and do the Letterman shout out to his mom, right? Mom, you remember Mom? All the way from Indiana, Dave Letterman's mom? No. What about a certain furniture company from... Yeah, right? They are so racist. Please, they're not. Come on. Where was it? There was a thing here. Oh, from Nate. Look at this. That's a fine question. Are we going to do some Fluent UI in Tags app? Convince me. It's an open source app. Let's talk about it. Is there an opportunity? Is there a place where it makes sense to do that? I'm game. Help me out. I'm not going to say no, but I'm also going to ask, what would you like to put in there that is Fluent UI? It might make sense. It might not. I mean, could I? Sure, I can. Am I going to? It's an open source app. Let's talk about it. So, might be a good idea. Might not. You need to learn to set up Tags app. Then I would feel confident we can dev on it in a dev container and submit that pull request. I don't want to go into... So... Yeah, Bootstrap's been pretty good for this as a UI framework. Oh, now I've got 2 waterfalls open. Come back. Over here. So I have a bunch of features that I've been building to improve the startup experience for developers. I've been tinkering with that. I've been working on it. There's a branch that has some of that data in it. I want to go try something else today. So this was cool, taking a look at the open telemetry work. That's building and growing and happening. But I had an idea for it. I don't want to do that bug fix. I don't want to work on bug fixes today. And I can choose not to work on that if I don't want to. Auto-ignore phrases and links? No. Twitch moderators as moderators? No. The accessibility information, Robert Steffen is doing some interesting work on that. Animated emotes from Twitch? Nah. Pronoun indicators? That might be fun to do. No, not right now. Code formatted comments. No. README needs updating. This would be interesting. I want to do something user interface-ish. Is that a word? Interface-ish? Activate, deactivate providers. If user is currently blocked. Oh, you know what? You know what we could work on? Tour. So that is actually something that was requested during .NET Conf. It'd be useful to show a collection of messages on the overlay to follow a point or discussion. Does TagsApp support cat? Yes, there's the cat right there. Cat. Is it Vindex? Great question, and I think the direction that was requested was a little bit of a queue. So that I can mark a collection of cards as preferred so that you can go right through them. And cat must be supported. Thinda Kitty? Okay. So thinking out loud here, and I'd love to get your feedback, chat room. Put some sort of a drawer that hangs off. I like hanging things off the left side here. That way the host can kind of stand on this side and point to content that's over here. And, I mean, it's just easy to find it over here, I guess. Right. Hey, Napalm, we just looked at the telemetry coming out of Grafana. Neat stuff. Can't wait to hook up more metrics and things in there and start extending that. I couldn't find a way to see the ASP.NET logs. But we can dive back in and take a look at more of that later offline on the Discord. Imagine somebody sitting off camera at a conference selecting what to show, and host can just tap to bring up the next one. Exactly. So if I hang a drawer that floats over here, just a little handle that hangs off screen, and they're able to touch that drawer handle over here, and it slides out and it shows maybe just the first few words or a custom message that's been specified. They're queued up, they're in the drawer. The question in my mind is, how do we put items in the drawer? How do we put things in the queue? Your attention comes and goes as you're working, so a bit of added context. Yeah. Right? I've been just queuing up messages on the waterfall, so it would be on the waterfall display. It would be over here. So, there we go. We got 8 more message. It's under Loki. Didn't see it popping up. Notice that there's a card being displayed in the background. The waterfall stops. What if the waterfall continued running? Chuck, did I? It actually, so when this is displaying, this should pause. It's not right now. That feels like a miss as we migrated stuff. But it should be in paused mode when you open the modal. No, not there. Let's add an issue. Bug on waterfall UI pause updates while the modal is open. That's not a bad first issue if somebody wants to take a look at that. I thought I clicked first issue and help wanted. It's something that I can address, but I think it's something that if somebody's wants to tinker and figure it out, you can take care of that. So right, this was something specific. Can I show? Come on. Yeah. Oh, come on. Zoom in on that. It's not. We're going to lose some of the resolution on this. Screenshot. Yes. And really? Is that the right size? Yeah, it is. There we go. So here's our friends John Galloway and Katie Savage. They were hosting part of .NET Conf, and as they were bringing up messages here, that literally they stepped off stage and they said there was a handful of these that we wanted to go to, but we couldn't remember where they were on screen, even though we had it paused. So like we had to go hunting around and finding them, and Katie and John said it felt a little confusing. So to add a little bit of a cue so you have that context and you know here's the ones that I want to go to, feel like is a nice addition here. Back to over here. Go to the data source directly. What did Surly Dev say? Moderator stacks up the messages. Yeah, like you would have done for featured. So you're suggesting moderators can put the messages in the queue also. You're impressed it worked as well as it did? Shut up. It worked. It was plenty mature. Mature enough. It was as mature as the Golden Girls. What? It did. It worked awesome. Okay. So I like. So where was Surly's other message? Now. You should be paused. You shouldn't be adding things. So if we let moderators and hosts have access to that tray, that queue, they can add messages to it and remove messages from it. Okay. I like where we're going with this. I may have to explain the Golden Girls. I think I should make... So this is the message detail screen. And I originally built this thinking this was going to be a right-click screen, right? But you can't really do right-click on a touch screen. So, right, when you click on this... I'm going to approve that from Smirking Squiggly. So, maybe... See, it moved on me. So maybe it's time to bring it up and put all of this, put the approved by, see, that looks awful. And the message details and actions. Let's turn this into a pop-up on the moderation screen. Okay. And one of the items in there, Thindal, you're right on where I'm going here, would be add to queue for the moderator, add to the message queue. So it would approve, which means I'd also want the approve buttons in the message details view. We need a display view and a preview view. I don't know what you mean by display view and a preview. I think there's a drawer that pops out here that shows here's the list of messages that are queued. And right, there's just a little bit of each that's visible. And I think there's this piece where let's consolidate this so that it's another overlay that appears in the same way that you would have a context menu. And you can then take these additional actions, further actions, beyond just approve, reject on the message. What do you think? Hey, Jay. How you doing there? Hello, hello. Got to bounce for sprint. Have a good one. Yeah, let's talk about the hotel offline Thindol. Not Thindol, Napalm. So they know that the next message in the queue is a trolley message from Thindol. Let's talk about that when we build the display of the queue. And when you click on an item in the queue, it pops up as the modal. Right? When you click it, it pops up as the modal like that, and the queue slides off the screen. I think we're onto something, chat. I think we're onto something. Displays what the viewer sees, what's on the screen behind the presenters, and they tap to bring up the next message. Let's dig into this a little bit. You like my stream? Well, thank you, Jay. That's great. I appreciate that. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell your pets. Tell your pets. Tell your pets.
Oh, you didn't know?
Yes, you can tell your pets. My dog watches TV. Have you ever watched a dog watching TV? The weirdest thing, man. Like, what are you getting out of this? There's a carpenter on TV building a house, and I'm enjoying learning and seeing how they're reframing rooms in the basement and whatnot, and the dog's staring at and watching, and like, what? So, LeBlon's, hello, good to see you. Maybe an in-tray button next to the pause button. Yes, a tray with a little number next to it, with a little grippy UI, right? So that it looks like something that you would grab and slide out, right? What do you think, huh? Bootstraps off canvas for the drawer too. Totally. Yeah. Moderators and presenters can add messages into the drawer queue while the segment is on, so that they can order them and pop them off during the segues, depending on how they want. Yeah. Love it. Absolutely. I can't think of a way to add, like, speaker notes to go along with it. Let's start with bringing over the message details page as a modal on this screen that will do a little bit of interaction. Where does the preview screen go, Thindol? Where would that go so that it's not on screen, but it's on screen? A way of ordering the messages? Totally. Preview screen as a second UI. I can see that. Right, so we have the overlay screen that pops up when you choose a message. There's the overlay so that you can embed it at the bottom of the screen. And closing it does not hide that message. A presenter tablet, okay. A secondary user interface that is just the queue. Now you're speaking to me. Let's get these ideas into the issue. So that if we don't finish this today, and we're probably not, we can remember this for next time. All right, components needed. Update the message details screen to be a modal on the moderation screen. Add Add to queue to message details. Add to queue gesture implicitly approves message. Allow moderators to add, let's call them speaker notes about a message. Add a queue screen that shows the list of messages queued and the speaker notes for each message. Add a drawer user interface that slides off the bottom left of the waterfall UI and contains the list of current messages to review. This may turn into a primary interface for some folks. Instead of waterfall, use the queue view instead. Queue screen allows reordering of messages. I think that's a good start. Implicitly. There we go. Drop some other thoughts on that message there. A presenter tablet's a great idea for it. Moderators are sat there filtering out the chaff, and then the presenters can see all the approved messages and say, I want to talk about that one or that one, but then there's also a suggestion to pull one out. Okay. What did McNett say? Latin is useful for daily... No, it's not. Maybe the queue could be a separate column and messages could be dragged into it. So if I slide it out from the left here on the waterfall, I could have it slide as wide as a column. Let me start with moving the message details page. I love the discussion around the feature. Put some comments on this issue. I linked it there in chat. I'll link it again. So you should be able to see that on YouTube or on Twitch. The Restream bot posted it in chat on YouTube, and you can see the message that I put there. Let me start with this, moving it to be a modal, and this is going to be adding the queue feature. So let's create a branch for that. Did I pull in? Did I pull? Yeah, okay. Let's call this feature queue. I don't know. Right, and I'm going to just push so that I get a branch established on my my GitHub repository. What branches do I have here? That's fine. Okay. So I want to take this and turn it into a modal on the moderation screen to start. Yeah. So where's message details? I don't see it. There it is. So right now, oh, here we go. Right now it's in the Blazor project. That'll work as a server-side component, but it won't work as a Blazor WebAssembly component. And the moderation view is WebAssembly. So it doesn't have a way to reference it until I move it over. Yeah, so we're going to need to move that. If there's a lot of message, it could be difficult to moderate. Perhaps I could add a time life period before it being accepted. No. Nope. With moderation turned on, nothing is accepted and pushed over to the waterfall or the queue. If moderation is turned off, everything just appears. I could see doing a slow mode for that. However, even at the size of .NET Conf, even at the size of the NFL game that we tested with, being able to pause was just enough gap that our folks needed. I could see slow mode to slow down how quickly things appear on screen. I can see that. Because right now, as messages arrive, they just push on screen. Might be a need to slow that down at some point. Nobody uses this in an ecosystem where it needs to be that fast. Yet. How long is the stream planned? About another 2 hours. Can you have a flag for a message that is currently presented, talked about, then as messages are coming in for follow-up, select those messages for that topic, and show buttons to change the follow-up messages. Distributed in time to release across moderators. Interesting ideas. Jed, I like where you're going about trying to keep a discussion thread together. There's something to that. I think that's a lower priority for right now, because we just don't have that depth of discussion currently. But can you do me a favor and create that issue in the GitHub repository? It's linked. The GitHub repository is linked at the top of chat. Create an issue around threading a topic discussion, because where I want to get to sooner is native application and a viewer application to go with this, so that you have a tags app mobile application that you can use to interact with the application. Yeah. Coming. All coming. Love the ideas. A tag system to add a thread tag to the post, then filter on the thread tag. Lanky Scottish nerd. You're baking my noodle here, my man. Little bit. Much appreciate, Jet. Much appreciate. I don't want to say no. I love the idea. It's going to be a little bit lower priority because I want to get... There's an amazing feature we're going to add to the client-side app that nobody has thought of or done before. That when we build it, is going to blow the doors off of people. Okay? Monkey tennis. That's exactly it. It's monkey tennis. What? I don't want to talk about it because I don't want anybody to copy it. But it's going to, when we get to building the mobile app to go with this, not the native app that has the application running inside of it, but a mobile app for you, the viewer out there, to be able to watch and participate. That's going to have, yeah, it's coming. We're going to get there. I've shared the idea with a couple of friends at Microsoft, and this idea, this push that I have to reinvent what virtual events are is going to do it. Is going to start in that direction, and it's going to do it in a fun, stupid way to start. And we're going to add more with it. Yeah, people do have doors. Absolutely. They lift up like this. And then, whew, don't do that. Tags app vertical dance video sharing? I don't know. Line 16 needs a call 12. Line 16. No, it doesn't. No. $3D chess? No, sorry, President. Not sure. No. When we get there, there will be plenty to share and talk about because I think, I think you're going to be just as excited about the feature as I am. No, you don't need it for extra small and small. No. It does it automatically for you because they're smaller. It automatically takes care of that for you. Besides, it's just the H1. Dagsy Bird. Ah, that's interesting. Where was I? Message details. I need to move message details because we're going to turn it into a pop-up. Here, right? And it's got a little bit of a... It's got a... That's fine. I'm just going to bring that whole shebang. I'm just going to cut it, bring it over here. It's not a pages. It's a component. But it's an... Oh, geez. I'm adding more admin components into the client app. And it's an action that's taking place on this stuff. So, okay. Where did it go? There it is. Is it admin or is it... No, move that over to pages. Yeah, you're fine. But we'll add methods into the moderation hub so that you have to be authenticated in order to be able to take these actions, right? Let's close some of these pages. Close all but this. And down here, message details. Okay. Yeah, so see, some of these things kind of go away. The authorized goes away, that goes away, that goes away. That goes away. Humanizer? We don't have Humanizer in here? I don't mind bringing Humanizer over. Packages. Yeah, Humanizer. Fine. Manage packages. Humanizer. Aztec Consulting.
Aztec Consulting just resubscribed for 42 months. Of course 42 is the answer. Proud to support your work here, good sir.
Thank you so much. And I'll make another donation to the American Cancer Society. Much appreciate your support. Alright, so I got to do some more in there. Locarno says bootstrap grids are supposed to be mobile first. So if I went 12 columns at all breakpoints, shouldn't you do call 12? it will automatically, for the smaller ones, it'll pick up call 12 automatically. That's the point of the responsive. Would it be possible to sync my repo? Well, I'll set up a pull request so that you can get to the content. So message details. So a bit of this is going to disappear. So you're saying do call 12. So that was on moderation.resor. Moderation.resor. Yeah, message. I gotta clean up message details still. It doesn't know what this is. We don't need to know what this is because we're not doing that. To do change to call method on moderation hub. I don't think it made a difference, but by making it call MD, behaves the same. Like, if it made a difference, yeah, okay, let's do it. Doesn't make a difference. Moving on. So message details, we're going to take this off so it's not a page you can navigate to. I don't need a page title. I don't. So if this is going to be a pop-up, hey, Chess Noob, hello. Not much. What's up with you? We're building and moving our message detail screen to be a modal pop-up instead of a separate page. So if I use similar markup to what we have for waterfall modal, which is a spinning modal, but a modal nonetheless. I can use a similar look there. You completed the Connect 4 Blazor tutorial. Very cool. I did write that. What'd you think? I think we updated. Somebody else updated it. I think for .NET 8. I'm going to grab some of this. And I think we're going to bring it in here. Very nice intro. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's great. Something like that. I don't want to do a modal front on this. It's just modal content. Yeah, stop propagation, sure. Right. That's better. And that's for that, and that's for that. It's a lot of divs. Just a... Isn't it like modal body? Yeah. Right. So don't need the message details because you're on the page with it. If model is not null, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So if you do call 12, you can later append call MD6 or something else. I hear you. This user interface, though, is designed to be used on PCs, on workstations, not on devices. There are other user interfaces that we will build that are designed for those. This isn't intended to be a mobile-first, mobile-facing website. It's intended to be something right now that is installed and run per research that folks want to do. So, totally get it, Locarno. Totally get it. You know what? I really appreciate that perspective too, because we're going to get to a point where we're going to refactor parts of this user interface so that it can be, like folks were saying, so that it can be a tablet-based user interface. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me take out my Chromebook. Our friend Maddie Montequilla was exactly saying this, that while she was hosting .NET Conf, she'd like to be able to have her tablet in front of her with a Tags app installed and be able to look at the notes and things. And this kind of feeds into exactly what we're building right now for the various entries that are on the screen and be able to interact with it here and have it reflect on the screen. So I want to put a pin in your discussion because it's a valid point you're making. And I think when we take, and this is why we built much of this in Blazor, we're going to lift it up and drop it into a Blazor hybrid application, and then making things like this queue page that we're about to build for queuing up messages, making that appear nice on a tablet, right? Tablet. Your perspective on how to reformat some of these things is going to be very valuable at that point. So, hello. I'm not going to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Because I try to be inclusive, and your name was allowed on Twitch, but I'm sorry. But how you doing there? I'm just going to call you Love. How you doing there, Love? Do I ever get tired of coding, no matter how much you may love it? Yes. Yes, I do. I get tired frequently. And that's why we need balance in our lives. Not just working in tech, but take some time and go out and go for a walk. Spend time with your family, your parents, your kids, your brothers and sisters. Spend time with your friends. It's not healthy to be constantly working. Whether you work in tech, you work in construction, you work as a carpenter, an electrician, a plumber, a car mechanic. It's not healthy to be constantly doing one thing. I get tired of coding all the time. There are some times that I'm really into it and totally focused, and I just blow through and I build I write so many lines of code that I have a great time with it. But I'm not going to sit on the beach and write code. I'm not going to sit poolside and write code. You got to take time and back off of it. So I appreciate the question. You don't get bored, you get burned out. Hey there, Howard. Hello, good morning to you. You've just internalized the rule to never have an MD. Okay. Let's open an issue and come back to that about scaling things down for smaller devices, because it's going to be an issue. It's going to be something we're going to want to address. Anyone that says that they sometimes don't get a bit burned out with code is lying. Or they haven't worked long enough. Yes. 36-hour break makes you crave it again? Cool. Okay. It is. Junie has poked me occasionally about games, and I have gotten very focused on Overwatch a couple nights a week. And I've gotten better at Diva and now Reinhardt. I'm learning to play Sigma. I haven't gone back and played any DPS characters in a while. I used to play Pharah a bit. But there's definitely an Overwatch stream in our future. Not gonna lie. It's coming. Listening to the Twitch stream while working? Totally. Great to see you, Howard. Yeah, I see the little name in parentheses there. Thank you so much for dropping in. Great to see you. So, let's clean this up and make this a little bit more like a modal, right? A context menu, like, right? If I right click here, I want to make it more like that experience for a message on the moderation screen. Hey, Chris Funk, you work remotely and your wife will practically drag you out of the house some days for a walk. My dog does. I walk the dogs every day. So, Ragged Reese, good afternoon. Hello, hello. So what should go on the header of a message that's coming in from, I think we want to have the author's name and image, right? That, does it have the name next to it? It doesn't have their name next to it. I'm going to put the author's name. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that. Put that right there. Thank you. Let's bring this up also. No, put that below the anchor. No. Don't need that, don't need that. Moderation state. Yeah, there it is. I like that also. I like this whole block right here. This is in the card header. Boy. It's probably going to be a second row. No! You stink! No. No, that was okay. It should be one of those. To close that one, to close that one, to close that one. Yeah, okay. That's the... And then that's the row. I want it on a new row. Really? I'm getting plenty of extra quotes now. Thanks. Thanks so much. Let's actually make this. So if the moderation state is not pending, then, and we'll output this. Okay. This is going to need a little bit of help. The author username should be... And just make this 12. Bring all that across. Okay. So now in the card body, so I don't need, oh, wait a sec, hang on. Modal header, not, ow! Modal header right there. I don't need, do I need that? I don't think I do. I don't need you. I will need the on click. I don't know about that. Don't know about that. Don't need that, because that's part of the flip logic. Blazor looks very similar to Angular with directives. It was designed and inspired with the directive capabilities that Angular and some of the other JavaScript frameworks have. Adding contributors to a website? No. Details about the project and what I'm working on are pinned there at the top of chat. See, I can learn, Locarno. I can learn. See? I can do these things. It just takes lots of practice.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice.
Practice.
But we talking about practice, man.
Practice.
What are we talking about?
What?
Practice?
Okay. Little Allen Iverson there for you. You're welcome. Is it Taniwa? Yeah, there you go. And I appreciate the pronouns plugins folks use in chat. It helps me to identify and address you properly. Mobile doesn't always surface this stuff so nicely. You're right. The Twitch mobile app doesn't. So I don't always test my code, but when I do, I test it in production.
Inconceivable!
No, really, I do. That way it feels magical. All right. Get along here. Let's go. Okay, that... I don't know if I want these yet. I don't think I need that. I'm just going to yank that to start with. Close. Yeah, go find clothes. Not clothes. Clothes. Right? Modal display, modal class, show backdrop, intermodal CSS class, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if I need them, but I'm just going to copy them in to get it working. Right? Like, make it work and then improve it. They say to test as closely to production as you can. What's closer than actual production? Well, yes. Okay, so that cleared up some of those red underlines that we had at the top. And hot reload isn't entirely upset at me right now, so that's a plus. Okay, so modal header, modal body. So in the body, do I need to put the contents of the message to start? Or do I put the contents of the message like on the left side and on the right side? But here's the actions you can take. Something like that. Maybe. Maybe. Right, if I do that. Yeah, and then there's the actions. So here, if I do a div class, all right, now let's do call MD. It's 12 across, so let's go only 6 to start. Really? You're not going to suggest that I close my div? Watch this. Fine. You're not going to suggest it? Then I will. Bam! All right. Ooh. Go on. I don't mind putting validation message up top. That's pretty good. Yeah. You forgot the submit button. Oh, it's next to it, isn't it? Yeah, it's right there. Anything else I should add? I guess that's it. So then I can get rid of this. Oh, dear Lord. That's not confusing as hell. Okay. So that's... I forgot a row in here. And then that's the modal body. Okay. That's the modal header. That's the modal content, the modal inner, modal dialog. I think that's it. I think that's it. So now if I go back over to the moderation screen, is it in moderation message? It is, and the on click is in navigate to. So let's put on the moderation screen the modal. Don't need that because we finished it. If show modal. No. No. Message details. No. No. Don't need these. Don't need any of that now. Yeah. Let's set up a Boolean for show modal. Ooh, no. Show message details. Oh, are you good? Are you good or what? What is selected content? Yeah, that doesn't exist. Private moderation content model. It was. Okay. Show message details. Set the value, show modal. State has changed. So now inside message detail, moderation message. Yeah. Watch this. Show details. Yeah, show details. Sure. Right. Public async task. Show details. No. Nope. We're going to reach into the moderation page. Show modal. What do you mean? Show message details. That's what I'm talking about. Rebuild. I don't trust that. Am I done my coffee? I'm done my coffee. Inconceivable. Why am I saying that?
Inconceivable!
I've got that guy. All right. Here we go. Let's see if this worked. Because if it did, it's going to be so cool. All right, here we go. And rebuilt. Here comes the moderation UI. Magic. All right. So I'll choose a message. I'll choose this one. And nothing happened. Why you do this? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Walking down the stack, walking down the stack. Moderation repository on message details. Right, because that doesn't exist. Nope. Bad Fritz. It says hot reload succeeded, but I don't know. You tend to use the word suboptimal.
You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
It does. And oh, look, the rejected message is hidden by default. There we go. And if I click the thing, nope, still didn't. Still doesn't like it. Can I provide value for moderation? It didn't actually rebuild. It didn't actually rebuild. You know, when this is building in my mind, I hear this sound. Maybe that's just me as a kid of the 80s. Right? Like, that'd be really cool. Object of type, message details does not have a property matching the name content. Yes, it does. No, it's called model. What I tell you. Where'd it go? Too much code. It didn't do anything. Yes, I am. I am C# Prime. Uh-huh. When I get pushed, do I think rollout? Yes. Someone grab that clip of Peter Cullen saying Autobots rollout and drop it into my console so that we can use that. No, it's just doing nothing and not even logging anything. Cursor provider ID. Where do we go here? Are we actually getting it calling? Right. Now I'm going to trace. Somebody was asking me the other day, how do you debug WebAssembly? I don't. I'll start writing console write lines into these things. And it won't write the entire bit there. There. Showing details, so it's trying to do it. Selected content. Setting show modal. Right, in which case it should include that in message details. So, do I need the backdrop? Am I missing that? Okay, but it's not centering and showing. Gotta hide the shard of the alt code. Right. I'm missing a piece. Take this out. What did I miss? It's hiding here somewhere. There's the modal backdrop. There's the content modal. But see how it's grayed out? It's like it's hidden. Yeah, display none. And it's still not showing. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Display none is coming from over there. Uh, thank you. The way the avatar overflows the card. I was just about to say that, DGen1. The way that the avatar, right? So, I don't have a close button. I gotta fix that. Reload. Like, I know I have a distinct voice, but I could never do Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime. And I realize that I'm getting into gravelly voice right now. Like, not intentionally, but it's just kind of happening. So, that's the... That does look kind of cool. How that kind of flows outside of it and kind of fits in. We need to work on this. Getting that to fit better. I think we've definitely got something going there. One second. There we go. And I need the close button to work. So the fade, I need to make the fade go away on that. What happens if I just yank that? Right. Created the main Blazor loader graphic based on Kit's front strobe light. Cool. Cool. It didn't fade in. I do like the fade in, not gonna lie. Like, is it? Right, I can do that. Override on initialized async. Give me an async on this. Await task delay. I don't want to await. 700 milliseconds. Continue with modal class equals string dot empty. I can't. I don't think I can do. Yeah, I think I need to do invoke async. Yeah, which means, yeah. And what doesn't it like about this? Yeah, I know. No, that's okay. That's what we want. So now if I go back over here, refresh the page. Yeah, it hot reloaded. Didn't fade in. Try it again. You think Kit got it from an old recycled Battlestar Galactica Cylon? I think you might be right. It was just a flashing orange square? No. Oh, I broke something. That's why it didn't run. Right there. Return keyword must be followed by an object expression. Fine. What? This one, that's what, not. Let it fly. Here we go. I wonder if you're right, if it was just a recycled eye plate of a Cylon helmet. I could totally see Hollywood doing that. That was kind of lame. And then I need to put the close button back on it, right? Whatever. In which case, take that down to like 300. Okay, need to figure out the close button and then the close clicking outside of it. So, yeah, at on click close. There it is. There's the close button right there. There's also a provider icon there. Before I go too far, inner content header. That's the row. It's not going to work because it doesn't have a close. Well, actually, no, it does. That didn't actually do anything. The Palisar, you like the Hotel Exporter? So it was just added. It's in a pull request for this project, and we're going to add more to it coming up in a future stream. So good, the stuff that it adds. It's really, really neat to work with. Right there. In fact, I'm just going to approve that. There it is. And that doesn't look right at all. That's not right. Let's move that. Can we just move that up in there? Up in there? Up in... No, that's not right either. Why don't I just move you, like, out to there? Is that a thing? That's even worse. Alright. So, kind of inside the row and on the right side, and it doesn't want to be there. Padding right. Padding. You should be... like... style. No. Float. Right. You stink. Position. Absolute. Right. 0 pixels. 10 pixels. This is still wonky. Wonky. And I'd really like it, like, come here. So what if we make that then 15 pixels? That's not bad. That's on the close button. Get rid of those extra spaces. Hot reload succeeded. And when I click it, does it close? No. All right. Close over here. Sets modal display, modal class, and show backdrop. Show backdrop. If show backdrop, then we're going to show that. Show backdrop equals true. So that sets it to false over there, so it'll hide that. Okay. It sets modal display to none. I don't know, I'm just trying things. Didn't even show up. Try it again. You'd question having a div row with a single div column inside it unless you expect to add more columns. I'm not sure yet. And no, the code commentary is exactly why I'm here. All right, there we go. And does that close? Yeah. All right, that closes. Nice. Why didn't it? Now it doesn't want to open a second time. And now I feel bad. That's why we had the open method. Yeah. Hey, Jean Valjean. Hello. Fine. So I don't have either of those. Yeah, delete that. That's why it had a ref. Message, details, dialog. Public. Message, details. Dialog, get set. Ta-da. And down here where I did the on click, message details dialog, open. Refresh. There it is. And close. Open another one. No. Rebuild. Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely part of the reason why I find streaming enjoyable is I go along here, I get some look to chat for some feedback, and away they go. Right, so here it is, loading up. Boom. Opens the first time. Opens the first time. That took a really long time. Moderation Razor 352. What do you mean that's not a thing? It's right there. The key detection code? Yeah, look at that. 352. It works, but why is it throwing me an error the first time here? But this is called... No. Reload it. There's too many changes in there. Now the dialogue has to be is on the page. Wait a sec. You're right. The dialogue isn't on the page. It's not on the page because that didn't update. just to make sure. Yeah, how about that? Doom on a Husqvarna auto mower, the grass mowing robot. That's weird. Introducing scope creep. Oh, that's annoying. But that works. Okay. Key detection code. There's no class with all the common ones as static properties. No. No. You're talking about in here. Where's the... in the move cursor. Yeah. Because that's the only place it's referenced. That's the only place it's referenced, so... why? I don't need it anywhere else. If I was reusing it in other places, sure. But it's the only place that it's referenced. So. Hey there, Acid Bath. Have I ever thought about, ever worked with Duende Identity Server? Yeah. Folks really enjoy it. Folks actually prefer it for building and managing credentials and login capabilities. For small open source projects, free to use. For businesses that want to use it, they request a fee, and I can appreciate them wanting to get paid if a business is making money off of their software and saying, hey, we'd like a little bit of payment also. So I completely appreciate what they're trying to do. Locarno, to your point about having a class with some of those values, inside I have a security class out here that has the names of the roles and the policies that we enforce across the application for exactly that reason you're talking about with the key detection, so that when I need to reuse this in all the places, I get cool auto completion, and I'm ensured that I always spell moderator correctly or admin role only. So it's when I need cross-cutting string constants like that, that's when I'll introduce and use this. So yeah, exactly. As soon as I need it more than twice, put it into a constant somewhere. Exactly. Hey, cool. Thanks for the thumbs up there, Acid Bath. Yeah, yeah. Brock's a friend I run into at events twice a year at least. So much respect to the work that they've done building Identity Server. It is a brilliant bit of software that they've written and importantly maintain. So continuing, I've only got about 40 minutes left here. Moving this into a little moderation window has been pretty cool. So Locarno, if you want to take a look at something, see how it's slow here? There's a bunch of back and forth between .NET code and JavaScript code and then back to .NET code to do that. I need to figure out how to remove that, how to make that perform better. That's something that needs to be addressed. There it is again, right there. Object reference not set. Message details, Razor, line 0. And message details, Razor.
Developers,
Gonna force a rebuild there. Alex, is it Alex Rocha or Roca? Thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, line 0. That's weird, isn't it? Last night I was aimlessly flipping through TikTok, and one of those messages pops up. Hey, did you know 30 years ago in the 1980s, this movie was released. That movie was released. Hey, do you remember when? And that was 35 years ago. I'm like, Jesus, what the heck? Well, one popped up and it was 36 years ago today. The movie Bloodsport was released. I was like, that is just junk food popcorn movie that I haven't seen in a long time. That's just brainless and stupid. Yes, let's watch it. And sure enough, I put on Jean-Claude Van Damme, a Belgian guy portraying a French-Canadian-American guy who I don't think has that accent, who was telling the story of his life. Right? So Frank Dukes was Jean-Claude's stunt coordinator in Lionheart, in Bloodsport. He was also the writer of Bloodsport and a couple other movies that Jean-Claude was in. And Frank Dukes says that he fought in Kumite, was the first American to win it, and came back, and he was a special agent in the Army, and that's why the Forrest Whitaker character is chasing him over there, because he abandoned his post to go fight in Kumite. And turns out all of that is a lie. And nobody with the Freedom of Information Act request has been able to get any information about Kumite, about Frank Dukes serving and being deployed as a special agent into Southeast Asia. His mentor in the movie that teaches him the flavor of ninjutsu that he portrays and uses, that guy doesn't exist at all. The business partner that helped him open a school for teaching ninjutsu, that guy doesn't have any credentials. And in fact, that guy supposedly went to school here in the Philadelphia suburbs. No, they have no records of him being there at all. And that guy supposedly was chosen to be and help out with teaching ninjutsu because he was an all-state wrestling champion. No, he was nothing in Pennsylvania State Wrestling. There's no records of this guy at all. Literally, the story of Bloodsport is a story. It's not fact. And the folks that supposedly it's written about don't exist. Like, all of the stuff at the end of the Bloodsport movie, right? There's the final title card. There's the final cards at the end of the movie that say Frank Dukes was a special agent in the U.S. military for this, that, and the other. No, he wasn't. There is no such thing as Kumite. There is no such thing as this or that or the other. Like, none of it is real. Like, okay. Like, you can look this up on Wikipedia. It is ridiculous just how much of Frank Dukes is made up. Like, nobody has any records of what this guy did. Oh, yeah. Everything is... But here's the thing. At the end of the movie, they say, this is based on the true story. No, it's not a true story. Frank Dukes didn't do these things. Like, unless there's some statute of limitations that, like, we haven't hit yet and it hasn't been released by the U.S. government. Like, none of that. That's wrong. Browser? Right? Look. Frank Dukes, right? Frank Dukes is the character that Jean-Claude Van Damme plays. So it's not Dux, it is pronounced Dukes. But But he served in the Marine Corps from 75 to 81, claims he was sent on covert missions to Southeast Asia and awarded the Medal of Honor. He asserts he was recruited by the CIA to work as a covert agent. His military records show he was never sent overseas and never received any awards. And he states that the military is trying to discredit him. He's been accused of falsifying his military service, and by these folks, and his claim to have worked for the CIA has been dismissed by the director of the CIA, Robert Gates, Norman Schwarzkopf, and John Singlaub, and Soldier of Fortune magazine. Yeah, George Santos has more truth in his life than Frank Dukes. There you go. In 1980, he was interviewed by Jon Stewart from Black Belt, stating that participating in the 1975 martial arts competition in the Bahamas, called the Kumite, 60-round single elimination tournament held in secret every 5 years. In the movie, it's held in Hong Kong. He was the first person to be given permission to speak publicly about the event, first Westerner to win the tournament, even though it was held in the Bahamas. The 1988 film Bloodsport is based on his alleged Kumite victory. At the time of the film's release, he was operating a martial arts school in Woodland Hills in North Hollywood, teaching his own martial arts style, Dukes Ryu Ninjutsu. Like, Dukes worked as the fight coordinator for Bloodsport and also the film Lionheart and Only the Strong. But none of this is real! It's so good! It's so good. It's so bad, and it's so good. Like, don't get me wrong. Fun movie. Enjoy the movie. That Tanaka, this guy doesn't exist. The guy who supposedly taught Frank Dukes. No. Doesn't exist. Like, okay. So you can take a look and dig into him. Like, it's a fun movie. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not giving any credit to that. So actually, President Not Short, you're not too far off. Like, let's go back to that for a second. See, it's not refreshing and resizing here. Yes. Bloodsport was 1988. Fight Club came out in... When did Fight Club come out? 1999 was the movie. The novel was 1996. Could it have inspired that? Sure. I think it inspired this. No, that was 1987. I think it inspired that one. I think the Kumite and Bloodsport inspired a bit of this. Yeah. They wanted to use the Bloodsport license to make right? They wanted to make a game inspired by Bloodsport. I don't even need to say I think it was. It was. It says it right there. Boone and Tobias wanted to make this based on what they saw from Bloodsport, which is based on this fabrication by Frank Dukes. It's so fun. So, there you go. So, Fight Club, Mortal Kombat, yeah. How many controls does the Fritz bot have? Is there an LCATS one? LCATS. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the acronym LCATS. Take a look. Locarno, it's easiest to start a Postgres container locally. Take a look in the script folder and run start db, and it will set up a Postgres container. And then the first time that you run the tags app Blazor application, it'll configure it with everything you need. You won't be able to get to the moderation page until you create a user. Once you create a user, you'll be able to log in and you'll have admin rights. And then you need to tell it to search for a tag. And it will search Blue Sky and Mastodon. Then you'll be able to move forward and actually look at the moderation screen. Yeah, work with branch main to start. No, we don't talk about Fight Club, Sir Lita? Oh. Here I was so... Yeah, it's in the scripts folder is a start db script that'll start the database with the name and things that I use by default. I'm making the startup process for developers a lot easier. But that's not what I wanted to do today. I wanted to get in and do a little bit of this. I think we need to make this wider so that the actions is wider, and I don't like that wrapping right there, you know? Why don't I go back to this? Right? Let's do a little CSS push here. See, what is this? At line 0. On message details Razor. Message details Razor. Okay, fine. There is no line 0. So if model is not null, we'll do all of that. Yep. That might help just a little bit. Just a little bit. Flight Sim Expo in Las Vegas. What happened there? Let's just move you down there. Yeah, that's right. Hot reload, not working. Not working quite right. Honestly, it gets confused for lack of a better term. About a half hour to go here on stream. I should really set like a timer here so that, and I know I do that for longer streams. Right, ta-da! Click in, and there we go. Am I still getting that line 0 error? Nope, got it. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at first this chalupa right here. Why are you wrapping? What if I just say 100%? No. You're still going to wrap. Why are you wrapping? I don't like this. Because it's the image and then that. Okay. So what if I just put a break there? Ew. Ew. All right. My apologies. I didn't mean that. That won't work. What if I just put it as a separate anchor underneath of it? Right? Right? Like, you know, I don't know. We'll have the whatever inside there and do something like that. And so what if it's a separate anchor? Who cares? You were supposed to hot reload there. Fool! Imagine tags app on the iSphere. Oh. That would be cool. That would be cool. Not gonna lie. There it is. Reloading. Better. Like it. I like it. Now I want to make this wider. Like, where's the modal? It says width 100%. What if I made the width like 60 VW? That's not going to work. Okay. So what if I go to this? Perspective. Ugh. I think these two are okay. And okay, that one does nothing. With this one. Okay, that does nothing. Right? Min height, okay. Ooh! Well, that'll do. Right there. Because I set a max width on it right there. Let's put an override on the max width. That's on modal dialogue. But I'm only going to put it on this one. Here. As an override. What error? Fine. Refresh the screen. Let's take a look. Yeah. Okay. Not. Still have to work on this, and I don't like the actions over here. I think we turn this into a list of buttons down the side here. Right? And even then, like if I go to a larger one, that's still, look, the name isn't right. Right? It's doing that hideous wrap. No, it's... Why does it think it's only that big? 400 pixels. It still thinks it's only... If I get rid of the... Didn't remove it. Why isn't the name going the full width? Figure this out. That's better. Now, if I go to one like this one, still wrapping. So when there's a name underneath of it, there's a row, and then, well, okay. That's why it thinks this row is only that wide. Why? And I don't need a, so to the point that Locarno was making, do we really need the row and the column?
Developers.
It's just Reith. Hello, welcome. Better? Now put the break back in there. It should appear on a new line. Let's put a paragraph around the... no, let's put a paragraph around this. Really? Show me that again. It's going well. We're working on a moderation screen here for... I want that up a little bit, but that should be... let's take a look back at the style here. Width, height, border radius. Is it going to be like margin top? That's kind of cool. Because the other way is like that. And that's kind of the way you would normally expect this kind of thing. Right? So if I did that... No. Ah. So then they're right next to each other, but this one... Margin left. No. That didn't come through. Try it again. If I'm going to have it cheat above the border, have it cheat left of the border too. Yeah, sure. And this name over here should appear on the next line down. Hey, Steph. You're loving Blazor, but your site loads slowly, very slow. Is there a way to solve this? Give me some more details. What runs so slow about it? See, that's not bad. Like, this should then be up here, and then we can shrink the height. Right? Like, right? If it's 50 wide, then we know we can go to at least like 70, right? Well, that didn't go anywhere. Right, at which point just do position absolute. Wait. Why did that come back down? That's this one. This is the name. Refresh the page. Yeah, give me some details, Steph. It doesn't look... I like that position, but that just looks weird. And then if I go to a Mastodon one... Yeah, see, it's kind of... Right? Like... No. Ooh. Display block. It's still take it out of the paragraph. Yes, restart. Let's see what happens. Your first experience with Blazor was slowness due to unwise sequential loading of data and excessive re-renderings. Yes. Totally see that. Totally see that. That looks okay. It's not cheating up and over again now. That's okay. I can put this over here. And yeah. Like, that should just appear beneath it. If I take that out, no. See what happens. They shouldn't be. Okay. No, dear Lord, that's a question from a long time ago. And now it's still floating way over there. Why? Because it's right next to the anchor. So put a break before that. No, and it's still not moving it down underneath of it. Oh, wait a sec. Because I used that. That's why. That's what's going on. if I take modal header off of this, yeah. These two right next to each other I'm good with, and then a break. Hit it again. Reload. Yeah, it's a CSS grid carryover from the previous screen. And I'm starting to get CSS headache from fighting the CSS for the last hour. Not bad. Not great. That works still. No, I want that modal header, but I want it different. Excuse me, different. I'm going to put it back in and commit my change for right now. It's in my working branch, so I don't have too much of a problem with that. But I am going to clean up here. Started moving the message details screen to a modal on moderation. So that's now available on my branch of Tags app. So if you want to dig in, it's a serious illness I have. Yes, it is. You've got the same feeling about CSS? Yeah, I need to just walk away for a little bit and then come back. Like, I definitely want to flex grid on that thing. But man, we'll get there. Dude, such a pain in the neck. And rewriting it right now on stream. Oh, my head literally hurts. I'm going to go take some Advil from having to deal with that. Hey, Fritz, yeah, you've got the same feeling about CSS, wondering if anybody actually likes CSS. No, there are folks that do like it. This is where I miss the visual designer in Visual Studio. To be able to lay something out and move things around and generate the CSS and HTML attributes for us. Oh my gosh. Yes. I'll take 2 of those. But for now, I'm going to call it a stream. I've got some other things to get to. I'm actually hosting and recording a video for Microsoft later today. But not front page. No. The designer inside of Visual Studio. Thank you so much for tuning in, friends. This has been a lot of fun. We reviewed a bunch of pull requests and features that folks like you are working on out there because Tags app is open source. Anybody can contribute to it. I'm happy to support and show off that you are a contributor to this. It's going to be used as part of .NET Conf in the future. There are significant features planned for a native application and a viewer application so that viewers have a way to participate directly with Tags app. More on that coming on future streams. But for now, we're adding features to make it easier for folks to build and host and deliver their own stream-focused Tags app application. Thank you so much, everybody, for your pull requests, for your cheers, for your resubs. It means a lot to me and why I do think of us as pair programmers. working together on a team, having a good time telling jokes. We talked about Bloodsport, the movie, for 5-10 minutes. Talking about all kinds of fun stuff. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network that I can get you connected to. If you're watching on YouTube, I've got lots of other great videos available for you. If you just take a peek below or on the side, you can find other content from the live stream. Let me take a look around here. I'm going to get you rated over to... You know what? We haven't rated... Let's rate it TBD Gamer. He's rated us a number of times. Let's send the love over there to TBD Gamer. Thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow over on the Visual Studio channel. Folks were asking about Blazor. They're having problems getting started. They want to get in. They want to learn a little bit more about this. If you're on Twitch, I'll be on Twitch TV/Visual Studio, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. What is that? 1300 UTC? I will also be on YouTube, youtube.com/.net. Look for C# with C# Fritz. The series is back. We're going to be doing live coding and teaching. AMA is on board. You're going to be able to ask questions and talk about anything you want that has to do with tech, Microsoft developer products, as we build and learn about Blazor with .NET 8. Get ready to say hi to my friend TBD Gamer. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.